Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Curly K Glam, and I'm here today to bring you Grownish Season 4, Episode 4 review called Daddy Lessons. I'm looking real greasy, y'all, and sorry because I'm facing the sun, but I just want to go ahead and get this review out. I did watch the episode, so I'm going to start off with some positives because I thought this episode was really good, especially in comparison to last week. I know from my review, I was kind of disappointed with the way the episode, turned out and the way things transpired. But Grownish came back this week for Daddy Lessons, and I felt like this episode had more layers. And I know one thing that I also mentioned last week was the timeline. It was somewhat confusing because Grownish decided to attempt to bring in the pandemic, but they didn't necessarily. They just kind of sort of glanced over it, and so now I think, according to the timeline, the pandemic is over because Zoe mentioned twice in the episode that when she was at home during the pandemic, she was able to get her semester's worth of or her year's worth of work done while she was at home, and so now this year is the fall of 20 would have been the fall of the 2021 school year, or the whatever, it'll be the fall because they had summer vacation and now they're starting back school, so it's the fall. So or would it be spring because Jazz was training for track? Not really sure, but anyway, the episode started off with Vivek going before the school board to appeal to not be academically expelled from school, and along with that, he was also appealing for his scholarship and any kind of benefits he received from being a student at the school. And I just knew that Vivek wouldn't have got kicked out of Cal U, but his request was denied. All of his benefits was taken away from him, and the school contacted his parents. So Vivek was basically freaking out because he didn't know how his parents would handle it. And with him being the child of an immigrant, he understands the risk that his parents took to come to America for him to have better opportunities. So he basically felt like he ruined his whole life and that he would be viewed as a failure here in the United States and in his home country of India. So, which is very understanding because, I've had, opportunities to come in contact with children of immigrants. I've gone to school with some children of immigrants, and they do, go over and they reiterate the importance of them coming here, getting an education, because they don't necessarily have those opportunities in their homeland. And so I can it brought to our attention the pressure that Vivek felt to be a success and to succeed in life. But right when he was trying to make a change in his life, that's when tables turned and stuff hit the fan, okay? Heidi's no longer in the picture. I saw that Jazz tried to, Jazz is hilarious. Jazz tried to tell him to flip the story and to, blame Heidi, flip the script on him and lie, but he was just like, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to do the right thing. And so I thought that was important. But all in all, what they're trying to comfort Vivek, while they're trying to comfort Vivek, Dre knocks on the door and Vivek answers, and it's Dre, and he's come to reprimand Zoe for some credit card charges that he saw. He saw that she got married in Mexico. So he was just like, Zoe, how can you go and get married in Mexico? He was like, out of all the things you've done, I've always been there for you, but you keep screwing up, whether it's from the time you quit school to pursue your job, whether it was you cheating on the exam, and now you're going here and you getting drunk, getting married. Aaron kind of threw her under the bus a little bit, you know. And so Dre, it was typical Dre fashion for him to like lash out. That was totally typical. Like, and if you are a Blackish fan, you know that Dre lashing out like that and having those tangents is typical behavior for him. So it was funny, but in context, like in real life, like no one would really, well, hopefully no one would really reprimand their daughter like that in front of her friends and embarrass her. So all in all, he embarrassed her. And so she ran upstairs, in tears, and he stayed there. And so he was able to overhear the conversation that Vivek had with his parents. But before Vivek's parents came, he tried to have a conversation with Dre just to get a parent's perspective on, is there anything too big that you would never forgive your children for? And Dre, said some positive things. And so with that conversation with Vivek, Dre was able to rethink some of the things he said to Zoe. And so Vivek's parents finally show up. And so Vivek tried to be mature about his stance. He tried to go before his parents and be honest and have an adult conversation with them. And at first, I thought everything went well. I thought it was going to be supportive of Vivek, help him try to, figure some things out, try to switch some things around. And the mother took it well. But the father, he won't having it. So bro basically disowned Vivek. Like, he started off real passive and then he got real aggressive. So, I thought he was going to come out the gate swinging, honestly, but he would just tell Vivek he didn't want nothing else to do with him, which was hurtful because, when you're going through something, when a child's going through something that momentous in their life, they always want support of their parents, whether they did wrong or not. And for one of his parents to abandon him, the mother just stood there with her mouth open and was looking at the daddy like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. So I felt real bad for Vivek, especially at the end scene when he was sitting there when Zoe tried to bring him a smoothie. Because that's what he did to Dre. He bought him a smoothie to try to, smooth things out. So Zoe made him a smoothie and he was shattered. Like, he was just shattered. And I appreciate the conversation that Dre had with Zoe. I really do, because, he was able to come to terms with the fact that she's growing up and she won't always need him. And she wanted her father to understand, I'm growing up and I know you'll always view me as your baby, but I'm not a baby anymore. Regardless of whatever decisions she tried to make, because she was trying to say she realizes that she's grown, she's on her own, so she has to know how to maneuver and, handle things on her own. And every time she got in a pickle, she was able to get herself out. So that was that was a nice conversation. I don't know where Grownish is going with the whole Doug and the new girl thing, but come to find out, I don't remember the new girl name, but she lives in Hawkins, and come to find out Doug was a RA, which I did not know, because I thought Aaron was always the RA at Hawkins. But I guess Aaron's just chilling because he's supposed to be going to school so I don't know. Is Aaron getting his master's anymore? That part we don't know, because he was supposed to work at Cal U. That way he can go to school for free. But now after the whole NDA thing, I don't know if he's even going to Cal U. But Doug's the RA. And come to find out, Sis is Luca's sister, which is weird because we never knew anything about Luca having any siblings this whole time on Grownish. So I thought it was weird for them to, bring up the fact that she's his sister. And so now Doug is trying to curb the fact that he's been talking to Luca's sister. So that's all I have for my review today, y'all. This episode was good. I thought that it was, layers. Oh yeah, I forgot. And what I also liked about this episode was that they showed what it's like to be a single parent in college. And I feel like Grownish should have, approached that right when Nomi first had Luna, in comparison to now that Luna's at least 2 at this point, because she said she's a toddler. So I wanted them to show that. And they also addressed the fact that Phil has not contacted her, and he said that he didn't want nothing to do with the baby, which I thought was weird because they didn't paint Phil to be like that when he came back to meet up with Nomi. So I thought that was strange, but I love the way that Anna said that, I know you're not at home and you don't have your village, but I'll be your village. And that's the kind of friends you need when you're going through things like that. So I thought that was important. Just wanted to throw that out. But that is my review for episode 4. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned because I'll be back with more videos, and be back next Friday for the Grownish episode 5 review. Deuces.